little bit different video for you guys tonight. We are not out in the shed like normal. We're in the basement. So reason being, we're not working on anything tonight. We're gonna do an unboxing. And instead of beer, we're gonna do some bourbon. So I have a pile of parts here, and they're for all kinds of different projects between my car and others. I figured I'd take everybody through kind of all the parts that I had ordered, walk through the process that I'm going to go through on each. Probably break this up into a 2 or 3 part series based on project, and we'll go from there. So first things first, the pour tonight is a Wild Turkey rare breed. It's a solid 116 proof. So should warm me right up. And then also the piston over here that the drink sits on is my original piston from my Mazda Speed 3 way back in 2009 when I first had that car bone stock, before I built many of engines for that and many a setup. So kept that last piston as a memory of that car. So without further ado, the first thing that we're going to go through is the pile you see before you. So this I won't take out of this packaging, but it's the entire gasket kit that's needed for the valve cover gasket, water pump, everything you need, spark plug holes. So the reason that I'm doing that is because I have been leaking some oil from the valve cover gasket, specifically on the exhaust side for a little while now. And my car has about 78,000 miles on it. It's been driven hard, and I'm not shocked. It also, being in Ohio, and the conditions that that car goes through are pretty rough on a car. So I'm going to do that, and I was planning on doing that, but along with that, Tracy Lewis had made a post seeing if anybody was out there wanting to do a catch can test for him. Totally unbiased. Wanted to basically run 2 different cans, his and then any competitor basically, and run them in a couple different configurations and kind of see what the results were. I myself have never run a catch can on this specific car. I always run catch cans on every car I've had, turbo cars, but on this car I haven't. I haven't touched the PCV system at all because, quite honestly, under the kind of excessive power that I've put to the car and boost level on a big turbo, you know, I haven't seen issues with a dipstick popping or anything like that I would normally see a lot sooner on a turbo application. And also I just wanted to test out not putting one on the car. Now, knowing a little bit more about the PCV system, the way it's set up with the LTGs, I can understand how high boost I'm probably have been okay-ish to this point, but it also is a very likely part of why my valve cover seals finally did fail. So with that said, I'm going to replace all of the gaskets. I also have here, I'm going to replace all of the PCV valves. Okay. So one valve here. We'll use, this is a ridiculous bottle opener that I built a few years ago. I just welded up. I don't know, it was fun. So as we go through this, my whole plan here was to really start from scratch with a brand new system and give the best test possible. I didn't want anything to skew any results that that maybe had. So valve number 2, So it was important to me to kind of have a fresh start on that. So that's what we're doing. It's probably overkill. Probably no issue with what I had on the car, but I just wanted to make sure. What do we got here? Honestly, I don't even know what this is. Let's see what we got. Probably a sensor? Nope. Okay. Valve number 3. Of course, they're all in different packaging. It makes perfect sense. All right. So, from the OE side, we have, again, all new gaskets, all new PCV valves. Start there. Now, from the actual catch can perspective, obviously, ZZP stuff I have already taken out of the box when it first came in. At the time I didn't have the channel and I wasn't planning on doing any videos. It was packed really nicely. All the parts look good. You got your can, all your lines, quick connects, okay. All the necessary hardware right here, okay? Nice and simple. No issues there. And then let's open up Tracy's can. So immediately I see what I would call a pretty significant difference, to say the least. So I was gonna say that I thought the ZZP can seemed a little small to me, honestly. I did not expect this Tracy Lewis Signature Series can to be this much bigger than the ZZP can, though. I'm honestly shocked at the difference. I have no idea if this is overkill, or if this is too small, or whatnot. You know, I guess we'll find out. So, other thoughts on this? This beautiful can. To already come in with all the fittings and everything installed is great. Don't have to do anything there. The fact that we have AN, looks like push lock type fittings on here is great. I actually have a lot of extra hose if needed from other projects. So that's the can itself. Finish on both are really nice. The ZZP can looks like it's probably anodized. Tracy Lewis can looks like it's potentially powder coated or painted. Both finishes are great. So next up we have, looks like all of our T-fittings. Some nice billet pieces with O-rings. I'm always in for billet, so I have not looked at the install instructions or anything yet. So I've seen a couple pictures. Of other people online, but I really haven't looked at it much. So I'm assuming we're going to be replacing some of the. We're going to be replacing at least one or two of actually these probably unnecessary brand new PCV valves with some of these billet pieces, which is fine if that's what we end up doing. So that's nice. All right, we have, I'm assuming, is the drain. Yep, okay, got a drain hose. Just first thing I noticed, ZZ Pecan does not have a drain, so I'm assuming, and that's why I turned this, I'm assuming this is the can type where you just basically twist off the whole bottom of the can, take it out, and dump it. Okay. All right, we got our hose here. Again, quick disconnects, quick connects. The Tracy Lewis can is using some nice Gates fuel line type hose. ZZP is using, it's branded for them, looks like similarly thick. It's got to be fuel hose. It's thick, but it does have that gloss finish versus the matte finish on these. That's about the only difference I really see. And then we have some more hose, a couple different sizes. Looks like for each of the inlets, nice and easy. I'm assuming these are probably our bracket pieces. Okay, got one nice bracket. Again, looks to be powder coated, I would think. And then finally, okay. It's pretty cool. It's basically like a, I mean, this is what holds the can, but let's see. So we probably do something like this. Yeah, that's cool. I like this, that it's just one big, you know, quick disconnect basically. Is that a nice aluminum? It's a good deal. All right. Anything else? Okay. So there we go. So here's two different can setups. Obviously, some significant differences in materials, differences in obviously the size of the can. So, you know, we're clearly talking two very different philosophies just on can size. Again, I have no idea which will work better or which one is necessary. Other differences we went over, drain on the Tracy Lewis can, no drain on the ZZP. ZZP's can is a two-piece that disconnects and you dump it. The Tracy Lewis can has a valve that you drain it. Both are pretty standard. I don't know that I like one better than the other. We'll have to see. Then we have all our hoses. Clearly more hose. More hose. Clearly more hose in the Tracy Lewis setup. Also, we have three different inlets, or two inlets and an outlet, or an outlet and two inlets. We have three different fittings on the Tracy Lewis can. We have two fittings on the ZZP can. So obviously more hose with the Tracy Lewis can. Haven't seen exactly where these, I believe Tracy Lewis can ideally mounts right at the front of the engine, which is probably why it can be so big. ZZP can mounts kind of back above the downpipe near the primary O2 sensor. So definitely a lot of differences. We'll see how each of them works. I do know also that the Tracy Lewis setup actually completely changes kind of the entire PCV system and the way air moves in and out of the crankcase and valve cover. Probably why we have a lot more of these type of pieces where it looks like we're changing out PCV valves and such. So as we go along, I'm going to document every step of the process. I am going to, I'll document the whole install, obviously. I'll document any, basically review everything as far as what I like, what I don't like. I may have to, based on the big turbo setup that I'm running, I may have to modify some of the lines. I will obviously document all of that and keep everything as close to design as absolutely possible, so that we don't skew the results in any way from different positioning. So with that said, if anybody has any questions on either of the setups, let me know, but there will be a lot more information coming forward. One thing I almost forgot somehow is my shirt. So we have our own LTG Project t-shirts, also Tuned by Cooper's Camaro t-shirts. I will post links in the description of the videos. Also, if you're not already part of the Facebook page, get on it. We share a ton of information there. I do my best to, I have quite a bit of documentation, tuning related, turbos related, all kinds of different stuff for the LTG platform. So definitely head there. The LTG Project on Facebook, and then LTG Project and Tuned by Cooper's Camaro t-shirts available below. So next we'll be going through clutch. I think so. Until then, cheers.